Hello and welcome to the Psychic Side here on the A1R Psychic Radio Network and Moonstruck TV. Wishing you a happy Halloween from the Psychic Side. We're still the #1 Psychic Radio Network on Earth, and we're delighted to be with you today. So it is a special day, being Halloween. So I hope that you will enjoy this time with all the kids coming out, and if you're an adult with the kids, it's a lot of fun to do that as well. So we're going to be at home giving out candy this evening, and we're not going to be doing our class tonight, our mediumship class. I hope to have one of our students with us today, but apparently something happened. She's not able to come, so maybe we'll pick another day for her to be with us today. So I'm John Cappello, and I'm your host here on the Psychic Side. I'm a psychic medium from the Dallas, Texas area, North Texas area. And I've been doing this for about 30-something years. If you're new to the program, welcome. And I want to just let you know what I try to do is I try to bring psychic abilities and psychic work kind of down to earth and a little bit more reasonable for people to accept, if you want to call it that. So it's something that I enjoy doing. I enjoy explaining how psychic ability works, and also I have lots of topics to talk about. And this past month, we've been talking a little bit about archangels, and we're talking about the angel hierarchy. And it's interesting because there's so many different angels to talk about, and whether or not there is a hierarchy. I mean, I guess it could be up to debate, and it depends on which tradition you like to follow, whether it be the Jewish tradition or the Muslim tradition or a Christian tradition. Of course, I grew up in the Christian tradition, and then you have the Catholic and the Protestant traditions too. But I grew up mainly with the Catholic version and the St. Thomas Aquinas hierarchy of angels. And we've been trying to move up the ladder here a little bit from the bottom to the top instead of from the top to the bottom. And we started out with just the regular angels, and then we went on to the archangels. The archangels are such an interesting group because they seem to get larger over a period of time. They were once 4, and then they went to 7, and now they're up to 15. And once again, it just depends on which group you're talking about. The Greek Orthodox or the Orthodox Church has a lot of veneration towards angels and their work, and it's always interesting to see what truth comes out of each one of these different angels that people talk about. But we're graduating from the archangels to the another level, another type of angel today. And it's really interesting because this type of angel is the top of the lower hierarchy. And the top of the lower hierarchy of the 3 tiers of the angel hierarchy is they're called the principality angels. And they're an angel that you may not have heard about in the past because the archangels, they get all the press. Michael, he's the hero all the time. But the principality angels are a very special group, and um, it's an angel that you can sometimes see. People have mentioned them. If you go to the internet and you look up principality angels, you'll see a lot of information about them. And they're denoted by the colors that they portray and the colors of their wings. And the wings look like flags. And the principality angels are angels that bring wisdom and knowledge to a particular country, culture, religion, and even top leaders. And so we hope that everyone who's in a major leadership position listens to the angels that have been assigned to them for their work in the big picture of serving mankind. And of course, now we have these different wars breaking out. And so we're hoping that these principality angels are getting the ear of the leaders of the countries that are under attack and are able to ward off any of these perpetrators, these people that want to do harm to innocent individuals. So you can see that every angel, including the principality angel, has a positive angel and there's a negative one. They're right there. It's just like the seven main virtues have the seven deadly sins, and it's interesting how that works. And because I've done my research on angels, and there's just I just tapped the surface of it, but we have angels that work against the good principality angels, and of course we want the good ones to win, and that's important. So we hope that the leaders, like I say, do listen to them, and that we can have some good outcomes in these difficult times that we find ourselves in today, and because we have to, we just have to. Because mankind is on the brink here, and we want to make sure that we stay positive and work to making things better for everybody. So it looks like we have a caller, and we have a caller from New York, and I lost her name. So if you could put her name back up there, Anne. Okay. So Anne. Okay. So Anne,
Hi.
are you
Yes.
there?
Hi. I am.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
I can. Yes. Do you ever listen to our show?
Yes, I have.
I got you there. Oh, yeah. Oh, good, good, good. Well, Anne, hope you're doing well today. Now, is there anything going on in a relationship in your life, or do you have another question that you'd like for me to look at today?
Um, I would just maybe see what spirit maybe wants to tell me. If there's anything I should know.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay. Well, are you currently in a relationship right now?
yes.
Okay. Is everything going okay in that relationship? Because it just seems like there's lots of things going on in that area. Because what I feel like you've been under a lot of stress lately. Is that right?
Um, well, not necessarily me, but my partner has with his work. He's doing, he's busy, very busy.
Okay. Okay. So you're a little bit worried about the stress that he has on him. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes, it does.
Okay. Well, it just looks like he's having to cope with all of the stress of his job and the things that are going on. It looks like the two of you do care about each other, but the stress in his situation, I feel, is causing a little stress in between the two of you. I know that you want to help him, and that's noble of you, and I feel like you're going to continue to do so. But I feel like if he's going to have to try to do something to make a change in the event that the stress does not ease up some. I don't think he wants to
Okay.
leave his job, but it just seems to me that he lets it get to him. And in the event that it doesn't get better, then there's going to have to be some sort of change, because it's almost like the cork is going to pop one of these days, and he's either going to let the stress get to him. Yeah, has he had any health issues?
Yeah, I worry about his health, like, based
Okay,
on him getting
okay, because
stressed.
I
Yes, I do.
yeah, because I'm worried a little bit about his health under all this stress, and so that's why I feel like he's going to maybe let this go on a few more months. But if it doesn't get better, then I think he's either going. I don't want him to have a breakdown of any kind, but I do feel like he's going to have to make a change. Okay,
Yeah.
and if he makes a change, I feel like both of you may move. You may move to an area maybe more a little less stressful. Are you in New York City or just in New York State?
Um, New York State. I'm on Long Island.
You're on Long Island, okay. But there's a lot of hustle bustle going on there, and so it just feels like the two of you may get to the point to where you say, "Gosh, this isn't worth it. It's not worth all of this pressure that's on us to live here." because I feel like at some
I,
point go ahead.
I'm on board. I'm on board with that. It's just getting him on board with that. So you think that
Well,
maybe he'll get on board?
not now, not at the moment,
No,
but
no. I know it's
I think you want to stay in New York State. It's a beautiful state, so you may want to move into the interior of the state a little bit more, and find something that's less stressful because I
yeah,
think that you just don't have the quality of life that you want to have. Okay,
right,
and
right. We were
so
thinking Pennsylvania actually. Pennsylvania
Pennsylvania is
seemed like
beautiful.
yeah.
Um, I don't know. It's just I feel like you like New York, but if you find the right place in Pennsylvania, why not? Because it's another beautiful state. I don't think you're coming south. I don't think you're going to Florida or Texas because I think you like
Hmm.
living up in the area where you're at because you're used to it
Yeah,
and you like the lifestyle there.
yeah,
So I
right.
I feel like you're gonna try to weather the storm a little while longer. But at some point in time, he's just going to say, "Hey, this isn't worth it." You know, it's just it's almost fighting futility. You know, at least that's the
Yeah,
feeling I'm getting. And
yeah.
if you
That's what
feel
he's
like you're
doing.
living if you feel like you're in a feudal environment, sometimes you just have to change the rules, and sometimes changing the rules mean to leave. To leave, but you're going to leave together. I think that if you do move, it'll be a successful move, and it'll be one that you will not regret. Okay.
Yeah, I agree. Yes,
Okay.
thank you so much. I
All
appreciate it.
right. You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Thank you. Okay. Well, take care. Bye bye. So before we get to our next caller, I was hoping, like I said, that one of my students would come in today, and I'm going to bring some of them in to watch how this is done because I think they're a little afraid to deal with people. You give everybody tools to work with, but when you go to something live, it's a different story. So, of course, I've been doing it a while, so I I feel like I know what I'm doing. so so when we're dealing with mediumship, we sense a presence beyond our personal space. And I really wasn't seeing any spirits around her today. I was working with the energy that just was around her, which made it a psychic reading. Okay, mediumship is the presence beyond the person, someone's personal space. So let's go ahead to the next caller. Let's see who's calling us. Is it Randy from? Is it Arizona? Bonnie. Oh, excuse me, Bonnie. It's Bonnie. So Bonnie, are you there?
I am here.
Bonnie, where are you calling from today?
I'm
Arizona.
calling from
Okay.
Mesa, Arizona.
Mesa, Arizona.
Yes.
Okay, Bonnie. Hmm. Are your parents in spirit?
No.
Okay. Do you have a man in spirit you've been trying to reach? Because there's two people behind you, maybe grandparents that I'm seeing right now. Unless you have a question. Do you have a question for me?
No, but I'm interested about these spirits. Grandfather passed away many, many years ago, 40 years ago.
Okay. Did you know
Just
him very well? Did you know him at
no.
all? Okay.
I did know
Well,
him, but not very well. I just had an uncle that passed about
okay.
a month ago.
It might be your uncle. Did you know him well?
Yes, I did.
Okay. So I'm gonna have to because it's an older man. So I'm gonna go with uncle because sometimes uncles are kind of in the grandfather space, and it just feels like you looked up to him, you admired him. He was a person that I feel like he was a fairly kind man. Was he a good person?
Yes. Yes, he was
Okay.
good. He was funny.
Okay, because it just feels like he's someone that someone all of your life, and then suddenly they're gone. It's there's a piece of you that's goes away too, and it just feels like that's where you're at. It just feels like there's a part of you that's gone that can never be replaced. And so for me, Bonnie, did your uncle have any land, or did he? I mean, I know Arizona has a lot of desert, but are you in a rural area in Arizona?
I am not. I am not, and
Okay,
he was not living in Arizona.
okay. I'm just. Did he have land around him?
He used to have land, but that was, he sold that years ago.
Yeah, well, he may have gone back to it in the spirit world, because a lot of times we go back to a place where we feel we are, where we're happy. So he just is showing me this land. He may have been very proud of it. He may have needed to get rid of it at one time, but or when he sold it, it just feels like he wanted to get smaller when he sold that property, and he wanted to move to a more manageable situation. So sometimes when you have land, it's a lot of work. so uh,
Okay.
so yeah, so it just feels like he wanted to be in a more manageable situation. But like you said, he was funny. Did he ever play any instruments or anything like that, or do you play an instrument?
Not that I'm aware of. Not ever growing up, I never saw him playing an instrument.
Okay. Well, I don't know. Maybe did he like country music then? Because I'm just hearing guitar music. I'm hearing that type of music around him.
Oh, he liked all kinds of music.
He did. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying that this is a person that I feel is around you. Apparently, you weren't living near him, and so you may have been in contact with him. But there's a lot of information that I could give you, but I'm not sure you could verify it because he did live in another area. But uh, so Bonnie,
Well,
for
no,
you,
when I apologize. I was just going to say we grew up. Our family has lived right next to each other growing up. As adults, we've moved away.
mhm,
So
mhm. Because I mean, I felt like you had been close to him at one time, and that he was almost in your everyday life. Okay, and and like I say, he was kind of a second father figure, or a person of that nature. So because I'm just seeing him as pretty as a pretty average person, but a good person, a hard worker. I feel like he always worked. He never wasn't a bum or anything like that. It's just a good
yes,
person. So I think that you had a good relationship with him, and he always had a point of view that you thought was worth listening to. Is that right?
yes, and I
Okay.
just feel like he's been around a lot lately. I had a major surgery, and I feel like he's been around.
Okay, okay. Well, before I leave you, I want to just touch on the lady that I was seeing around you. So is
Okay.
this his wife, or did you have a grandmother in spirit?
I have a couple of grandmothers in spirit, and his wife also.
Okay, then this may this
My
this may
aunt.
be this may be his wife. Okay, did she smoke, or any of these ladies smoke?
Yes, she smoked.
She smoked. Okay, because then I'm going to just go with her. So she may have had some breathing issues. Did she have emphysema or anything? Because it looks like she's holding her chest.
She died suddenly.
Okay.
She went to the hospital and then died suddenly with sepsis. So I don't
Okay.
think it
Well,
was
but
the
she was
smoking
holding.
that got her, but
She was she when I she told me she was holding her chest, so she may have had a massive heart attack. I know she may have had sepsis, but it just seemed like it may have poisoned her, and took her life. So, but because that's what that stuff does, it basically poisons you. So, and
okay.
that's kind of what I'm seeing here. So I don't know. She might have even swelled a little bit, but. Uh, she had a rough time there near the end of her life. That's what it looks like to me.
Yes, she did. It was very sad.
Very sad. Okay. So this is a person that I don't want to say she was the opposite of your uncle, but I feel like he was more gregarious or more, or in a way, friendlier than her. I don't know why I'm saying that, but she just seems a little more reserved than he was. Not a bad
Yeah.
person in any way, but she was just a little bit more reserved. So she's coming in today, and so I'm sorry you had to have major surgery, but it feels like it turned out okay. Is that right?
Yes. I'm
Okay,
every day I
on the
tell
mend.
myself I'm getting better.
You're on the mend. Okay, so every day it's getting a
Yes.
little bit better. So it just feels like you're in a sense in rehab. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So just keep hanging in there, Bonnie, and continue to get better. Keep working to get your strength back, and I'm glad you called in today. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Okay, thank you. Hope you keep listening. Okay, so um, so that's how it works. I hope that you can see that a lot of times we have to just kind of hone in to the spirit that comes in. When someone comes in, we have to kind of determine if they're a man or woman. We have to determine what type of relationship someone had, because and for me, you have kind of different tiers. You have the youngsters, you have the contemporaries, you have the an older generation, and then you have maybe ancestors. And when you have that, you just have to kind of figure out, okay, so is it a grandfather or great grandfather? Because a lot of times you don't hear everything or see everything. And a lot of times you have to see the hair, you may see the head, and you may see a silhouette. At least this is the way it works with me. And you may see brown hair or gray hair or no hair on the side of the men. Uh, and then a lot of times with women, a lot of times women, they come in and especially the older generations, they their appearance was so important to them. And so you may see the beehive haircuts and stuff because they get ready to make their appearance here to mediums, and they want to look nice. And sometimes you see that they wear a lot of makeups, or you may smell their powder or whatever. And so it's interesting, and then you get their personalities. And like in the case of Bonnie's aunt, she just seemed a little reserved. Not a bad person or anything, but she just kind of liked to see things evolve around her. She didn't necessarily like to be the center of attention from my point of view, and she's still that way. Whereas her husband was someone that he was always busy, 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 from what I could gather. And I didn't tell her. He seemed to. I'm not. I don't know if he would like to drive cars a lot or see cars, but he was standing next to a car. I should have told her that. So it's just something that as you get more schooled or experienced being a medium, that you can pick those things up. And these two readings were different contrasts. So you can see the first reading was about psychic energy, about the stress that this lady's partner was experiencing, and that stress was spilled over into their relationship. Because when your partner is under stress, sometimes you're a little bit on eggshells because you want to be supportive, and you don't want to upset them. So you don't want to in some way set them off. I felt like that's kind of where she was. And of course she's looking out for him, and that's why it looks like to me that they may be leaving that area of New York that they have been living in to find a little bit quieter pastures, if you want to call it that. So for her, I wish both of them the best, and they, because they're under a lot of stress right now. And then the second lady, she was just kind of looking to see what was going on around her, and those two folks showed up. So this is how it works, at least with me. And of course, I wish I could be more detailed here on the radio, but it's I'm just dealing with energy, and I'm trying to work as fast as I can. So, uh, but I want to return to these principality angels, because the principality angels are a group of angels that want the best for mankind. And they are a group of angels that really do try to work with the good leaders of the world. Okay. And the leaders that are not so good, those countries still have that principality angel, but they make the best of it under difficult circumstances, and and so we have to be supportive of those angels that are in countries that may not be producing the most positive outcomes for their people. So, and then of course the negative angels too that are out there. We want to, I'm sorry, keep them down. Okay, we don't want them around us. They need to go where they belong, and that's not with us, or not with the people that are trying to better the lives of mankind. So, and you may notice some of these negative angels at times, especially in times of stress, in times when you're feeling low, in times when you might be sick. Sometimes people notice negative entities or negative spirits around them. And that's when you just have to try to raise your energy the best that you can and surround yourself with white light so that these negative angels don't affect you. They don't come around you. So we're already close to the end of our show. It goes by fast. It's always a ride here on the psychic side. And I'm delighted to be here with you and talk to you about the things that I'm interested in. I didn't get into astrology today, but I will in the future. And we'll try to bring in some more guests as soon as we can. And I'll see if I can get some of my students to have a little more courage, okay? So a lot of them are working during the time that I'm on the radio, but we'll get them out here and bring them out, and I'm making them make appearances with me at some of my spirit galleries. So that's always fun. But I want to thank our sponsor today, Miracles of Joy. I'll be there in December if you're in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. They're in Louisville. You can be sure to use their promo code PS0223 on their online store website, and you'll get 25% off. So once again, thanks a lot for being on the psychic side. I'm your host, John Cappello, and like me on Facebook. Bye-bye.